Great day, class. It's Mr. Sargent here with another social studies video. Now, today's video is a special one because we learn about our marketing project. And I'm super excited about this. We're even going to show you an example of what the project's going to look like. So I'm super excited about that. So we're going to review a little bit about basic economics and why we're doing this project. And once again, happy St. Patrick's Day. It's probably the wrong day to be wearing green, especially working with a green screen. But we're going to make the best of it today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just review real quick before we get into the project details. So we started this unit with the word economics. Now, economics is the money system, monetary system in which we make money, we spend money, we save money. It's all about money. The first basic concept of economics is want versus need. We have to decide, is the thing that we're going to spend our hard-earned money on a need, that's something that we can't live without, or is it going to be a want, which is just something that you want, something that's fun. So when we're figuring out the next step, the budget, you have to decide, is it a want or is it a need? Now, our needs should be already met in the budget, but is it okay to put some of the wants in there as well? Absolutely. But it is important to remember when you're making a budget, you cannot spend more than you make each month. So it does take some planning. We have another concept that we talked about called supply and demand. Now, supply and demand is, well, this is for the companies out there. For the companies, they have to make a supply of their product. We're going to talk about products later. But they have to make a supply of their products. This is their material. Let's say they make, this right here. So the company makes this. They need to make enough to fill the needs or wants of their consumers over here. Now, if the demand is low, their supply is going to be high, isn't it? Because not many people are going to buy it. So they have to figure out a way to sell off their supply while increasing the demand for it. Now, we can talk about pricing and how businesses affect prices and what they want versus what they need and how their supply is and how their demand is. But that's only part of it. What it comes down to is trying to figure out how these companies sell their product or their goods to you, the consumer. Now, this brings up marketing. Right there, marketing. Marketing is how the companies create a plan to get their product, this right here, into your home so that you spend your money on their product. So there are a number of ways that they market it, and we've talked about this a few times with commercials, with advertisements, with billboards, with all of these things that they can do to try to get their product into your home. And that's where our project comes in. As you know, in science, we have been working and studying on inventions. We've been studying Nikola Tesla. We've been studying what it means to invent. And yesterday I had you invent something. And if you haven't invented something, go ahead and create something. It can be both a goods or a service. A goods is stuff that we can buy. A service is something that, is offered, sort of like a plumbing service or a mechanic. They all provide a service. So what you were to do is to invent something. Have fun with it, be creative. But as you invent, we need to remember when we're inventing something, inventors create something because they see a problem that needs to be fixed. What problem do you see that needs to be fixed? So in your invention, you want to try to solve that problem, but you also need to think of it as far as economics. If you're going to sell this product, you've got to make sure that a lot of people want it. And that's where our project comes in, ladies and gentlemen. For this project, we're going to call it the marketing project. You're going to take that invention that you made and we're going to learn how to market it. We're going to give it a name. We're going to create a plan. We're going to figure out a price. We're going to figure out how much it costs to make and how much we can sell it for. And then we're going to figure out how to advertise it and who to advertise it to. So if you look at this right behind me, you will see this breaks it down pretty easily. Because like my favorite quote says, a goal without a plan is just a wish. We need to have a plan. So if you look at this activity behind me, in the center is our idea or our invention. Now, this idea or invention, we can just put the title, we can put the name, you can even draw a picture of it. And then you need to answer a few questions. Before we even build it, before we even create it, we need to ask ourselves a few questions. Question number one is, what is it? What does it do? All the what questions out there. What does it look like? What does it do? What is it good for? What am I going to use it for? You got to be able to answer that question. The next question, if we look down, is who? Who are we to sell this to? Is this for adults? Is this for kids? Is it for people named Jaden? Is it for people that have 3 years? We don't know. We have to figure out who we're going to sell it to. It's kind of important when you're doing a business. Then if we go back up, we have the why. Now, we need to figure out why we're making this. Why are we selling this? What is the problem that we're trying to solve here? Why are you making this and why are you selling it? It's kind of important. Why do people need it? So we're going to put those answers in that box there. And then finally, we have the how. The how is how you're going to sell it. How are you going to make it? How are you going to get it into everybody's home? How are you going to make sure that everyone wants to buy it? Which is the goal of every business and corporation. So before we even do anything and make this plan, we need to answer these questions. The what, the who, the how, and the why. If we can't answer those questions, well, we don't have a plan. So your goal for the first step of this project is to create a plan. It starts with your invention and then answering those questions. And then the fun part. I'm excited about this part. We go back down to the how. The how is how we're going to sell it. Now, you will have a number of options in how to do this. I'm going to leave it up to you. We could do posters and ads that we could put around the room. They help, don't they? When I see a billboard, when I'm driving or walking, I look at it, I'm like, man, that looks good. I'll get that. But maybe you have something else in mind. Maybe advertising is word of mouth. You just start telling people about it. You tell one person, they tell 2 people, they tell 3 people, and before you know it, everybody knows about your product. But what about commercials? If you're able to put your product out there to the world in a commercial, won't a lot of people see it? And it may talk to your customer base. Who is going to buy your product? Now, commercials may seem hard and difficult, but I'm here to help. So, now I want to show you an example of just some ideas that I have now. This is a short 1-minute presentation, but hopefully you see some of the things that we've been talking about with marketing and advertising. And maybe it inspires you to do your own commercial, which we can actually do right here in class. So, sit back and watch this. Has this ever happened to you? Now, I don't know about you if you've ever been in that situation before, but it can be pretty annoying. Now, what if there was some invention that could save us from this annoyance? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is, and for only $19.99, you could own your own silence bubble. This has been scientifically proven to block out any noise and any annoyance when you're trying to focus. Just watch. So like I said, for only $19.99, you can own your own silence bubble. And no more will you be distracted by those around you and those trying to get you in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, order now. I want to thank TJ and I want to thank Tamari for helping me out with that. We had so much fun doing it too. And you can do this too with a plan. So next week, we're going to plan out how you're going to advertise it. We're going to have time to film. We're going to have time to create. We're going to have time to invent. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited about this project. And here's the thing. You don't need to get anything. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need to bring anything. Almost everything we have for this project, I have right here in class. So the only thing I need from you is your imagination and your plan. So ladies and gentlemen, good luck with your plan. If you need any help, you know where to find me. And most of all, ladies and gentlemen, great job today. And I cannot wait to see you next time.